you know, another goddamn sequel show. Oh, what you know, another goddamn sequel show. La 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 la
Fucking process. I'm gonna talk, say it into the mic.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll lean up again.
Yeah, this is the second time we started this fucking podcast.
We're back for more.
We're back for
this,
more
in
the
the same
second
night.
time. Back for More 2 is happening right now. The sequel to Back for More that already happened tonight.
This is Mike again.
I'm not even saying it. You know who the fuck I am.
I'm Brian again.
Brian's back. He's back.
He's back and back.
He's back. Double back. Back number 2.
Okay.
The sequel to Back. So I have fleas, I think.
You should get that looked at. Can't they take care of that at a vet?
Yeah, probably.
You can get a bath or something.
I'm pretty sure humans can get fleas. I think that's
Yeah,
that is the thing, dude.
I don't think I've ever had them, but I've gotten bitten by fleas before. That sucks.
Well, then why'd you say you had fleas?
They got them.
He hasn't been wearing his collar.
There was like a bug flying around me, and
Oh, okay.
It looked like a flea.
yeah,
It's just that time of the year, man.
yeah.
They're all small. They haven't grown
Flea
yet.
season.
All the bugs are small.
So how's everybody doing today? It's a wonderful Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
Yeah,
It's great for me.
It is a day of the week.
I don't have to work for a while, so
Well done.
you guys can kiss
Yeah.
my
I had
ass.
the longest fucking day. Fuck
Oh,
it.
jeez Louise.
I
Did the
did.
kids yell at you?
No.
Did they make fun of you
No. Just teachers.
for being
I don't
ugly?
believe that.
Yeah, I feel like they did make fun of you.
No, man.
Oh,
I'm like,
You're not the cool teacher.
No,
Don't
I mean,
even
I
say
can,
it.
like, I-
you were
like,
about to
listen,
say it, and it's not
listen.
true. There's no way.
I wasn't gonna say I was the cool teacher, but like, I mean,
he's shaking his head in the way that he
I'm
is
like,
saying
you know,
that
I'm,
he's the cool
pretty much
teacher.
the cool teacher.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
man, you're
you're
so
not.
fucking.
It's
full of
by
yourself.
default.
You're not.
I mean, you have no idea though. Is
I do.
the
I know
actual
you
thing.
though.
I also know you,
Yeah.
I mean,
and I
I'm
know
just
that
I know
they're
who you
just
are.
in class. They're like, yeah, Mr. Owen.
I'm not.
That's
no,
cool.
I do not feed
And then-
for fucking.
and
No,
then when
because there
they-
are people like that.
Now when they go home, they're like, that fat motherfucker thinks he can teach me something.
No,
Fuck
no.
that big-headed bitch.
But there is like a legitimate problem when I hear of teachers like interjecting themselves into kids' personal lives, like about their relationships
to
or
connect
whatever.
with
And it's
their
just like,
students.
nah,
Yeah.
that's too
opening up
much.
a level of trust. You know,
It's too much.
trustful.
And then there's like the other young teacher is like, I guess, like a complete dick, and he's trying to like work his way up the ladder right now.
Oh, so you're like not a dick at work then?
No,
Because you're like a
Oh.
total dick.
dude,
Here.
3:45. I turned that dick switch on, and
Jesus.
I'm ready to go.
The dick switch. So, speaking of the last podcast, everybody that I've heard talk about Alien or talk to about Alien does not like Alien.
Oh, they're all
Well,
dumb.
either that or they're saying things that I just don't agree with at all. Like,
Yeah.
wow, they really played it safe. They just did the same
Exactly.
thing again. And I'm like, I didn't get that
I
at
mean,
all.
I understand.
I can see where they're coming from.
like the very
I don't
the
get it.
end where they like get rid of the alien, like that's like straight out of the other movies,
Mm-hmm.
but that's it. That's it. I don't know. The rest of it's pretty new.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it did anything unoriginal, in my opinion.
pretty-
As far as the franchise goes, whatever. These people are. I don't understand it.
They're a
Like,
bunch
I
of
really
morons,
don't.
dude. They're a bunch of dumbasses.
Like, I gotta be honest. I was ready for like the Alien reboot, and
I was too. Yeah.
and I think that's what everybody's immediate defense was going to be. It's like, oh, it's just the same thing again. Star Wars Episode 7 did it. Alien Covenant
Well,
did it.
Star Wars Episode 7 did do it.
I mean,
so
it did. And
Yeah.
but it did it well.
it's pretty good. It's
I,
pretty
you
good.
know, it did. You know, for the same shit happening, it's pretty cool.
Brian doesn't- I don't even know why you looked at Brian.
I haven't
He hasn't
seen
You
it.
haven't seen it? It's okay.
No. I don't know. Predator's better.
He's all into Predator.
Oh
now.
yeah, that sequel
Very into Predator.
is getting some heat right now.
They're making another one. I
Good
don't know.
stuff. Yeah. I do have some fucking sequel
Oh,
news, bro.
shit.
Oh,
Bring it.
no.
Top Gun 2.
Oh, no. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
we are
Tom
back
Cruise is
in the
back.
fucking cockpit.
Is it really Tom Cruise?
Oh yeah, 100%
Oh,
is
yeah.
Tom Cruise,
He's
dude.
gonna do all of his own stunts, dude.
He does. Like that's gonna be interesting to see with this.
You think he's
right?
going to jump out? Like he's going to eject and it's really going to be
He's
him?
really gonna eject. Yeah, dude, that'd be dope.
He's gonna ejac.
He's gonna ejac all over someone's fucking face.
Iceman, take this.
You're going down!
Is that all your sequel news?
Yeah,
You got
but it's
nothing else
like
to
it's
say,
pretty
right?
cool.
You should get better.
You should get better.
How did you
sequel
go
news.
from
I
a
feel like
Predator to
there's
Top
not
Gun?
I was going
thought-
to say, like,
yeah,
that
that is
sparked
very
Top
weird.
Gun.
I thought
You're
we were
like,
talking
ooh,
about Predators
Predator,
here.
Top Gun. I got sequel news.
I wish I could answer that.
So
Well,
I-
I mean,
damn
I'm pretty excited for both of those movies. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, they are making Predator. Shane Black's writing it, who was in the
I did
first
hear
one,
that.
which is awesome. I think I talked about it on last.
I have
week's
sequel
episode.
news, sort of. Resident Evil is planning to have a reboot,
Yeah,
and there's a 6-movie plan.
yeah.
Jesus Christ!
For that reboot?
Yeah.
I'm only in if Paul W.S. Anderson.
I was going to say, is it going to be him again?
Can we?
I mean, I'm
it's-
pretty
it's
sure
not,
not.
but-
That wouldn't
that's
make
too bad.
sense.
That's okay. You know what? I'm gonna call it right now. David Slade. Guarantee he's. The
I don't know who
director.
the fuck that is.
Yeah, what's that guy?
He's a dude.
What has he done?
He's directed some stuff. Currently,
What's
right
his-
now, he's directing episodes of American Gods, but he's done.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
He's done some horror stuff. He did Twilight, New Moon. I think that's what it's called.
Are you saying that that's a horror movie?
No,
right
no,
now?
no. But
Did
he
that
did do
scare
that.
you?
I think that was his
Because of
first. That
werewolves?
was his first money money grab.
Scared of werewolves.
You know what's scarier than werewolves?
Wolves! Because they're wolves all the time.
Has this joke been on a podcast already, or do I just
Yeah.
hear it from you guys
I
all the
mean,
time
I think-
outside
I
of the podcast?
I think that it's not been on Back for More until right now,
Okay.
but it was certainly
It
on
will
the
be a
talking.
reoccurring-
Yeah.
It was on the talking show hundreds of times.
At least.
At least every other episode of the talking show had that fucking dumbass Norm Macdonald joke. Man, okay, so that's all the sequel news. We
Wait,
got
hold on.
nothing else?
I do
Oh, here
want
we
to touch
go.
on David Slade for a second.
David Spade.
Yeah.
What
What's that
about
guy
David
doing?
Spade?
He did Hard Candy, which was
I
that.
know that. I don't know if I've seen that movie. but
Okay,
I
that was
know
the one
movie.
where what's her name? Juno. I almost
Yep.
said Juno Temple, but
Ellen
just
Page.
Ellen
There we
Page.
go.
Thank you. Where she like tortures that dude because he was a creep. He did like 30 Days a Night. I
Oh.
was wrong. He did Twilight Eclipse.
You fucker.
Oh.
Some Hannibal stuff, and now he's like.
Ooh,
doing
somebody should
American
pick
Gods.
a Twilight movie. There's tons of sequels
Dang.
for that.
Yeah.
Like two?
I might at some
Or
point.
50 Shades Darker.
Yeah, but I do want to see it. I enjoyed the first one.
This
Crickets.
motherfucker.
Why do you enjoy such garbage?
Why are you calling it? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
haven't.
garbage.
I have not
Dude,
seen it.
I'm excited to see what happens next in the lives of Anastasia Steele and.
Shut the fuck up.
He knows their names.
Jesus Christ.
You having trouble
when
with
you
your
have
pocket there, big guy?
when you have a name
If you
like
look, you can probably
Anastasia
make it.
Steele, Steele.
You could like read it if you want it.
Nah, I'm not that intense about it.
Before we get into
I
this
watched
week's,
it because it was clearly going to be terrible.
Before we get
and it
in,
was laughably
hey,
funny.
Nobody
And now
cares.
you're like, hey, I like it.
Nobody
though.
cares.
I enjoyed it. I said I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it.
I don't know why you're like.
Because Brian's pissing me off. This is supposed to be a 3-person podcast, and I got this motherfucker on my ass.
Yeah, well,
It's not my
Maybe
fault.
you
it's
should
us
like shitty
against you
movies.
guys.
Hey,
Okay,
you're,
it's,
scared, you're scared of Twilight and you love 50 Shades of Grey and just
You're
kind
kind
of
of
a moron.
scared.
You told us to
You
watch
seriously-
Magic
yeah.
Mike.
yeah.
Oh, I had to explain that to Heather, by the way, in the office. She was like, "Why are you guys listening to Backstreet Boys the other week?" And I was
we like
thinking,
to fucking party.
I was thinking, like, why would we be listening to a song? I was like, oh, it was Magic Mike XXL. So I was like, even
So then
worse.
you're like, oh, don't. It wasn't Backstreet Boys. It was Magic
It
Mike.
was a
You're
male
watching
stripper
Magic-
movie.
no,
Yeah.
we won't bring weird.
Way
We're
better.
watching-
Okay, so are we done with all the
All the bullshit?
all the dumb bullshit? Right before we get into this week's movie, have you guys ever had Fiji?
Yeah.
It's the most delicious water I've ever had in my life. And
This
I will-
episode's sponsored by Fiji.
I will continue to drink these $3 bottles of water.
Jesus.
I
for
mean,
the
it
rest of my
is
life.
good, but
It's
that's
delicious.
where it gets me. It's just like,
It's smooth, man.
yeah, it's really good,
Great.
dude.
It's so great.
I mean, it's bigger than.
It has
normal
natural
bottles.
electrolytes.
It has It has things. It has minerals. It has all types of things. Most
Water
bottled water
often
is
does.
no.
It's got
no.
what plants
It's
crave.
mu- it's
got
filtered
plastic
out.
minerals in there.
It's filtered out, dude. Most of the bottled waters is filtered out.
So you're-
Anyways,
what you're doing is you're
we
drinking
watched
unfiltered water.
yeah.
I
'Cause it
like
has
my water with
minerals in
fluoride.
it. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, I like fluoride too. It's an important ingredient.
What was that? Did I hear something?
Yeah, it was my
You
phone,
did.
but it's in my lap, so that way it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
vibrate the
So
table.
was that you last time then? Were you the source of
No, it
the,
wasn't
there
me
was
last
definitely
time.
there was a bzz.
Then there was some phantom vibrating going on, dude.
Oh,
That was weird.
So we watched
Now
so we
2000,
watched
weirder than that.
2010.
2010, the year we made contact.
Is that actually a part of the title?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I think so.
It is? Okay.
It's fucking right there.
Yeah, look at it, dude. Look at
Where?
the box.
On that Betamax.
Oh,
The year
fuck.
we made contact.
Oh,
Do I
okay.
have to stand up and get it for
No, I
you?
see it now.
Mike, run it down for us. What happens in this movie?
Well,
More importantly, what doesn't happen?
Spoiler. Yeah, nothing.
first we meet a guy who was the one that led the original mission in 2001. He stayed on Earth the whole time, but he was the guy that kind of like took the helm of the mission. His name's Lloyd, and it's what was it?
I think
Roy
it's Floyd.
Floyd,
Scheider.
Yeah.
and it's Roy Scheider that
Also-
plays the part. Suddenly, Russian guy comes up to him, starts talking to him about the Discovery mission.
They had this like
original
really
one.
weird conversation
Shouty
on
conversation.
stairs that took way too long. Anyways,
So anyway, the Russians are trying to build a ship to get to the Discovery mission that failed in the first one, and Roy Scheider wants to go out there too, and he's working on something, but the Russians are going to do it first.
Yeah.
And so basically the Russians are saying, hey, we're going to be building our ship first. We're going to be shooting out there. You want to hop on for a ride because you're the guy that knows the most stuff, and you can get the people that know the most stuff. So kind of like a joint U.S.-Russian mission.
Well, they have to board the Discovery.
Yeah, and see, that's where the Americans would be helpful.
Yes.
So, but unfortunately, U.S. and Russia are in hot water right now. There's something going on in South America, and
Seems like it's an extended Cold War because they made this movie during the Cold War. I feel like they just figured it would last longer.
it'll be all the way out to 2010.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, maybe all the way into 2018 or something.
May. Yep.
did it end, man? Are we in it right now,
Anyway, so,
So
there's
true,
some there's
though.
like some
bro?
there's some iffy stuff going on because do the Russians trust the U.S. or does the U.S. trust the Russians? Who's lying to who, kind of thing. But none of
What the
that
fuck are
really
you laughing
happens.
about?
I'm listening. Come on. He's-
But they make
He's
it into
moving away.
space. They're all the way there, and
They're all the way there.
they're all the way there. It's like they
made
cut
it.
out the big year gap in the middle, the big 9-year gap.
they had to wake him up a little.
It was like 2
Yeah.
years, I think, right?
2 years.
That was the hypersleep.
Yeah, 'cause I think it was gonna be
well,
like
I
a
don't think they call it
4-year trip.
hypersleep, but it was like 2 years sleeping. I always loved to
That's
sleep
how
for
long
2
the
years.
fucking
also.
movie felt.
Right? Oh.
So they make it there, and they wake up Roy Scheider because something weird's going on where there's like some movement on Europa or something like that, and they go to check it out. What?
I just
Why do you keep laughing? Do you want to have this job from now on?
No,
Do you want to do the synopsis, bitch?
no.
So they think they spotted something on Europa. It looks like it might be life. They do this cool like orbital drag where they have to slow themselves by actually going through Jupiter's atmosphere, and it's like this crazy intense scene.
Yeah.
And then it's done.
Was that like the first space like slingshot in a movie? Because I feel like they do that all the time, where they like go around the orbit of a planet to like
Yeah, I don't know.
go somewhere else. Yeah. It's just-
Yeah. Well, I think they were saying that they were doing it to kind of slow themselves down or
Yeah.
something.
It was like it was what do they call it?
an orbital drag or something like
It's a
that.
reverse slingshot.
Yeah, like actually the opposite of what a slingshot would be.
That's true. That's true.
So anyway, they synchronize their orbit with Discovery, and they wake up everyone else, and they start heading over to it, and they get on the ship, and everything's shut down, and slowly they start realizing everything that happened, and they start answering all the questions you had from the first movie. Well, what happened to Hal? What happened to David? What's up with the monolith and stuff like that? And slowly all the information starts to get revealed. Meanwhile, shit back on Earth is getting more and more intense between the
Very
U.S.
heated.
and Russia. And what ends up happening is just as things start to go crazy up in space, where one of the Russian guys gets lost because he goes too close to the monolith, and David's ghostly form starts showing up both on
Dude.
Earth and in the spaceship. As soon as all that stuff is happening, suddenly America and Russia are at war, and they're like, everyone back to Earth. That's it. You
Yeah.
guys are coming back home on your own
But
ships.
first, like, you should check out this like black thing on Jupiter.
check out
Yeah.
that
Oh,
black
yeah.
thing.
And by the way, there's a giant spot on Jupiter.
Yeah.
What the hell's that? Oh my God, it's eating Jupiter. Everyone get the hell out of here. And there's this crazy panic moment. Oh, and when they brought Hal back online, they're like, "Can we trust Hal? We don't know." And it's like they're relying on him to save everyone's life. And so it's all culminating in a pretty cool ending there. And then all of a sudden, just kind of peters out and explains everything.
And then it just explains everything, and then it's like a happy ending, and it's like really weird and super 80s. And
I feel like that was a pretty thorough, just quick run through. Good job.
that's what a synopsis is generally.
Yeah. Quick run through.
I just think that's the best one he's given though.
Oh, okay.
As
Well,
far
you're
as,
getting
like-
better.
Cool. It's because I actually wrote it down as I was watching.
Oh,
nice.
shit. No
Nice.
shit. He planned for this.
Yep. So, what did you guys think of 2001?
Okay, so we're going to talk
okay.
about 2001. I actually rewatched 2001 after I
What?
watched 2010.
What, are we so prepared for this?
Oh my God, we're so prepared for this fucking podcast. I'm going to say so many words about these movies.
Fuck!
No, okay, so before watching 2001 this time, I think I had seen it twice. Hated the shit out of it both times. This time I fucking loved it. I thought it was great. It's so boring. I laughed out loud at how boring it was. Why is there an intermission in it? Like, still, why is there a title card for 10 seconds that says intermission?
Sure.
It's hilarious. Hal's cool. I don't know. It's a good movie. I like that the main character is not introduced for a fucking hour.
Yeah.
It's so good. Anyways, I love that now. So I have a love-hate relationship with 2001, I guess. Brian, what the fuck do you think about 2001?
Nothing.
He thinks nothing.
I've seen it probably once, and I don't remember
You probably don't like
pretty
it.
much anything.
You'd probably be like, I can't
mean-
watch this. It's too long.
It was very long. I don't have a whole lot of time anymore.
Yeah. Working full-time. Working for the man.
Being old.
Shipping them boxes. Since Brian has nothing else
Yeah,
to say.
I have
You were
very
still
little to
rolling
say
on
there.
the boxes thing. I didn't know when to jump in.
How do you feel, Kyle?
I hated it as a kid, obviously, because it was the
Like, really
slowest thing in
boring.
the world. I was expecting like when you see that ship drag across the screen in like the beginning, and it's just like, well, this isn't Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like
Star
they
Wars
went much
had
faster,
lasers.
and there was lasers shooting at the same time. But yeah, I've loved it ever since. I really enjoyed 2001.
It's sick. It's a sick movie.
For me, I didn't watch it until like much later in my life, and I loved it right off the bat. I'm a guy that likes space stuff anyway, and it's like
Hard
you've heard me
sci-fi.
gush about just some of the shots where I'm like, oh my gosh, how did he do that? He was like walking up the ladder, and then now he's walking down the hall, but everything
Some
was spinning.
Crazy shit.
There's just so many crazy shots with you don't know whether the camera's rotating or whether the stage is rotating. And then there's times where because of how he's moving and walking, he's either timing his movements and his steps really well, or they're like have multiple sections of the set rotating at different speeds and stopping and starting them at different times. But even then his movements, like, it's crazy how some of the stuff is shot and how it looks, and it was just like blowing me away. And then I just like the story too of a robot that goes crazy and tries to kill people,
For sure.
especially when the robot is literally the ship you're on. It's like you cannot escape this guy because he is where you're living.
They
right
didn't have
now.
any red calculators. That's
No,
for sure.
they had no red calculator divide by 999 or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
to disengage.
It was. I really love the movie, and I totally understand it's boring and slow, but I love
my
that.
God, I love how
I
slow
love
it
how
is.
long it takes to do things, because I can explain the entire plot of 2001, where it's like, oh, they're going to Jupiter because there's a mysterious black object that matches one they found on the moon, and the robot goes crazy and tries to kill him on the way, and they end up defeating the robot. It's like one breath, like 20 words, but the movie's like 5 goddamn hours. I love that.
I mean, it's not that long.
It is like at least 3. It's almost 3 at least.
Is it?
It has to be. What do you mean?
I mean, I don't know.
I think my favorite scene in 2001 is when Hal locks him out of the ship. He's in that. Like,
Oh, and he's
pod thing.
breathing.
He's just like breathing. He's just like looking at. He's like, for like 10 minutes. It's just him, just like. It's so good.
Keep going.
It's so fucking good.
That was only like 10
Oh my
seconds.
god, it's amazing. I love that movie.
I have 2 favorite shots, and one of them is the scene when he's disabling Hal, and Hal is like singing the Daisy
yeah,
song
it's
as
like
it slowly dies.
Yeah.
That's so haunting. I love it. But then the other one is just
Dude, Hal's voice in general is haunting.
it's great. He's like so calculated and precise in what he says, and then
It
it's
sounds so concerning.
God, that's a good impression.
are you Hal?
Shit. Oh my god.
I did voice Hal for Kubrick back in the 60s, so
I thought so.
yeah, I did. It's my one credit.
You are old. Are you gonna say
Wow,
the
I
other
didn't mean to
thing?
bring this to a
Yeah,
halt.
Are
I'm
you
sorry.
gonna say the other thing? That you
Oh,
like?
the
Yeah.
other well, the other one is it's just one of those shots that I was talking about. He's walking down the hall, and it looks like the camera's stationary, and it looks like the end of the hall is spinning, and it's a ladder. And then when he reaches the end of the hall, he steps on the ladder and walks up it as it's spinning. And it, to me, that just kind of messed with my head when I saw it, because I was like, wait, which part was rotating, which part wasn't? Because obviously the ladder wasn't, since he walked up it. But then he walked down the hallway, so it couldn't have been the hallway spinning. And just that one shot, like I rewatched it like 4 times because I was like, "What the? How did he do
You're
that?"
a nerd, dude. You're such
How
a
did you ever
dork.
figure it out?
It was probably multiple set rotations. I
Sure.
found out that was one of the things he did was he actually rotated different sections of the sets at different
Yeah.
times.
I don't think they actually though have like the perfect breakdown of how they did it.
No, there's
It's like-
there's
it, like,
still a
doesn't
lot of things that
exist.
are like in nebulous space where it's like this is one way he could have done it, but we really
Yeah.
don't know.
Hey Brian, how did you feel about that shot?
I don't know.
It's a shot I expect no one else to remember. But
I mean,
it's one
I
of those-
remember it.
What? Are you fucking joking?
Yeah.
It's like
You
one of
just
those
watched
talked
it.
about
Yeah.
shots in like cinema history.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really? Wow. Whoa.
I noticed something other people noticed.
Yeah. Good job.
I
dude.
feel validated.
So on the complete opposite
Opposite.
side of the spectrum, we have 2010.
Yes.
Where it's not as long, things happen, and everything is explained
So, you're right,
which
it's
is
pretty
its
opposite.
biggest fault, I would say.
Everything happens. Like, it was so weird for me to think, wow, the plot's really interrupting the long drawn out scene. Like,
Yeah.
there was a moment where it's like a big musical score starts as a ship is being seen going through space. I'm like, oh, nice. And then all of a sudden, boom, cut to people talking about what's going on. And I'm like, oh, whoa. That, like, okay, all right, yeah, different kind of movie. All right.
I will say this about 2010. I didn't hate it, but like, I think I wrote in my notebook that I did not bring here because I'm a fucking moron. I wrote notes for this podcast and then didn't bring them. I think I wrote, how is 2010 more boring than 2001? Because like, I seriously was more bored during 2010 than 2001.
Yeah, I don't think it was as stimulating as like.
Yeah, it's
the
not.
other one is.
There's like nothing to think about is the problem.
Yeah, there's more things going on.
But
You
there's,
have
like,
dynamics
it's all
between the
surface level.
characters because one guy really loves the computer. There's the Russians, the Americans.
My favorite part of the whole movie is when the guy is talking to the other computer, like on Earth, and it's called Sal 9000.
Yeah.
and it's a lady.
Yeah, why the
I laughed.
9,000 again? Like, what does this 9,000
Sal
signify?
9000. That was fun. It was a fun scene.
I'd say my favorite part of the movie was when, of 2010, when Hal was
Yeah,
talking
that's the
to
movie we're talking
David.
about, yeah.
That's the
Like,
one.
Hal was getting the messages from David and was relaying them to Roy Scheider.
Mm-hmm.
And then Roy Scheider's like, how can I know it's him? And then he's like, turn
Turn
around.
around.
That
And
shit-
that to me was like,
I
whoa.
love that whole scene. That
Yeah.
like it like turns
That
into
was-
like a ghost movie. It's fucking
It
sick,
reminds me of
dude.
like Solaris, when it's just like
Never seen
now
it.
people just start popping in and like, well, Solaris is like they get close to this planet and then your dead loved ones come
That's fucked up.
and they're just there with you and it's like,
You guys remember
Ooh.
Ghost Ship?
yeah. Also similar ideas.
Yeah.
So
Same kind of thing.
I just remember that Mudvayne is in the soundtrack, and
Dang.
also like the first scene, a wire cuts everybody in half.
That was like the only
Yeah.
good part of that movie.
yeah.
I don't really remember that one.
Is there a Ghost Ship too?
The Fog has a
Probably.
ghost ship though, and that movie's fucking dope.
The movie's fucking
The
dope.
remake or the original?
What? I don't know which one's the remake and which one's the original then.
The original's the old one.
Like Carpenter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is what I'm talking
Okay.
about. Okay.
Yeah, there's like a remake of it.
I did not know
in like
that.
early 2000s or something.
Really?
Might have been 2010s.
There's no way it can be as good.
He also said
Fuck.
the original is the old one, and like
That's
how that works usually. The old one.
Little
is the
redundant,
original
little
one there.
redundant.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was crazy.
So where we at?
Yeah,
Are
well,
we
I
talking
got
about
I
this
got
or
on
what's
Ghost
up?
Ship and
Well,
Mudvayne. I got Mudvayne. On
I
the
do
brain.
want to just address how much 2010 wraps up loose ends.
It
Like, it's
does.
even the Russian in the very first scene when they're having the shouting contest at the satellite dish. The Russian says things like, "You left a lot of loose ends, didn't you?" And I'm just thinking, yeah, the movie did leave a lot of loose ends, and the movie slowly starts wrapping them all. Even things that I feel like didn't need to be explained, like
yeah,
how.
that's what I don't like about it is that it explained everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, why? There's nothing to think about after this movie, in my opinion.
The one that gets me, and I don't know if you'll hate me for this, Dave, because it's
Well, I
kind of
already
like your
hate you,
gripe
so-
for why you hate people for hating H2, because I hated what they did to Hal in this movie. I hated it because they explain why he went crazy in the first one,
What a fucking pussy.
and I'm
Mike is
just
such a
thinking,
pussy.
you know, I liked the first one where Hal was kind of like a robot that realized humans couldn't be
here's the-
trusted, and he had to say, you know what? No, I'm the man for the job. Humans suck. Let me do it. And it was the robot over human dominance.
Here's a little bit of difference in why I don't. I hate you, but not for this. I just hate you in general. H2 is the second movie in a series of. It's a remake
Yeah.
of the original. So like people get mad that a reimagining of the original is different. Like this is just a sequel. So like whatever, get mad. Because it's still in the same universe and stuff. The Rob Zombie is
okay.
not. It's a different universe. So it's like, fuck you. Fuck you. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, because in 2010, apparently Hal went crazy because they gave him conflicting orders, where he was originally programmed to, like, you know, be honest and help everyone, and then the White House gave him orders to keep secrets, and then that conflicted with, like, his internal programming, and him killing everyone was his best solution as a flawed robot that couldn't figure it out.
It makes it less spooky, for sure.
It removes so much of what made Hal great in the first one, in my opinion. Now he was just a calculator that you punched the wrong numbers into. Before he was like some vengeful machine or some, like, you know, dominant presence. But now it was like, oh no, he was just being quirky. He had a real weird bug in his system. Like, I hate that.
It is kind of annoying. I mean, like, I'm not as passionate about it as you are, but yeah, it definitely makes it like less scary in the first one.
For sure.
For sure. What else you got, Mike? You got anything else?
Well, there were a couple times I felt like 2010 was trying to not necessarily knock off, but really ride on the coattails of 2001 with some of the space shots.
Oh my god, it felt like a poor man's 2001.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, riding on the coat, like,
It is.
It's the sequel
yeah.
to that movie. So it's like, that's
But I mean,
that's
like, they
not
even
fair to
have a
say.
shot where it's like when John Lithgow's in this movie, but they even have a shot where when he's going out into space, there's like a heavy breathing, where it's like he's in a spacesuit and he's heavy breathing, and
Yeah.
immediately I'm like reminded of the heavy breathing scene in 2001.
That's probably
But
what
there
it
was-
sounds like in space, though.
But there was so much. I know, but
It's also terrifying.
But he was just
Like
like, I
space.
thought it was different,
Yeah,
though, because he was
space.
nervous.
Can't breathe.
Yeah, but
Like, he was terrified
It's a
because,
panic
like, he was
attack.
doing something crazy.
I just felt like it didn't have the same
Oh,
weight
yeah,
to
it
me.
was just like, breathe normally.
Well, nothing in this movie had the same weight to it that 2001 did. Literally not one thing.
Because things don't weigh anything in space.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god!
Oh, my God. Brian with the fucking punchline. What do you think, Brian? What do you think of this
It was,
fucking
it
movie?
was all right.
That's exactly how I feel
I feel
about
it was a very all right movie.
So it's right up your alley.
I didn't hate it and I didn't love it. It was just kind of
Yeah,
like,
it's-
I don't.
it exists.
I've seen worse stuff.
For sure. It exists in
Yeah.
the world of movies.
Yeah.
Man.
The Russian accents were not good.
There's a lot of not good.
They
It's
were
so
very
80s.
not good.
Very
This
young
movie-
Helen Mirren in the
This
movie.
movie is
I agree.
so 80s. It's such an 80s
Yeah.
fucking
It
Cold
is
War
a Russian,
typical movie.
It's like a 80s Cold War submarine movie.
yeah.
Is
In
what it is.
space.
In space. Okay, I think, hold on. Something is
What?
like rocking back and forth, and it's like crazy.
Yeah, it's
It's
probably
me.
like all of yeah.
Oh, it's definitely.
all
It's
the
the
doing.
table.
Well, stop fucking knocking into it.
I think we'll be fine, Kyle.
But yeah,
Okay.
no, I mean, I think this movie is so dated, whereas like 2001 is not. I think that's
Timeless.
the biggest difference. Like,
Hashtag
honestly, in
timeless.
a lot of things, it is though. Like 2001, it just besides like. No one's ever gotten like TV technology right in movies that depict the future, right?
Yeah.
Like, so like besides
The TV's
that,
got bigger, but there's still tubes and everything.
yeah, exactly. There's like minor things like that, but yeah, 2001 is just it doesn't feel like a movie from it was late 60s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a movie from the late 60s at all.
Yeah.
But this movie certainly feels like it's from the 80s.
It feels so 80s.
And even obviously not just aesthetically, but you know, obviously in its content, dealing with the Cold War issues and
Yeah.
Americans and Russians. Like it's
Also, was it just me, or did like all of the space shots not look good? Like,
I
they
wouldn't
just-
say all of them. I
yeah.
just didn't like the models at all.
there were some I didn't like, but I thought a lot were like pretty fucking cool.
I just didn't think that they.
I liked the Jupiter shots when Jupiter was
didn't
getting eaten. I,
didn't
thought
thi-
that looked
I didn't
cool.
think it looked. It may have looked cool, but like it didn't look good to me.
I don't
Like
know.
2001 still looks good. It was made in
Sure,
the late
sure,
60s.
sure.
It still looks great. This movie, I don't think any of the space stuff, like the models didn't look good. Nothing. It was just like, oh.
Okay. Felt
And there was a lot of
quick and
stuff that I
dirty.
hated. Like I hated they cut out like all the like slow parts. Basically, it's just like
Yeah.
cut. They like.
They interrupted. It's so like,
Yeah.
ooh, here's this nice long drawn out shot of
Oh,
something
we're waking
spinning.
up.
No,
We gotta wake 'em
Time
up now.
for people talking.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's insane.
It's like such a different movie. I couldn't believe what like how different it was from the first one. It just threw
I
me
mean,
for a loop.
I could.
I could
I
definitely.
mean, I went into
believe
this
it for
movie
sure.
being like, no one talks about this one.
Yeah, I wonder
So,
why.
like,
So
yeah. But I mean,
It's not bad though.
No, it's
like
not. I don't
if
think
if
it
this
is.
was a different movie, like if they never made a 2001 and someone's like, "Oh, let's make his second book 2010 into a movie instead of the first one," and they just went straight to 2010 and it was this, I'd be like, "Oh, that's pretty
well,
cool."
I would like to know because he wrote a book for 2001 as well, right? Like that's what it's
Yeah.
based on. I would like to know how accurate that is to that book, and how accurate this is to the second book. You know what I mean? Like maybe that was just Kubrick being Kubrick with a lot of that stuff and just an interpretation.
I think it
mean,
is
I don't
different,
know.
but I don't know if I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the first book was written at the same time as the movie was made.
Oh, okay. That's
I
interesting.
know that
It's
the
based on like a short story, and then they wrote the novel at the same time or
Okay.
something, or at a similar time.
I know that he definitely wrote the second one after the first movie came out.
Yeah.
Because he phoned up Stanley Kubrick and said something like, "Well, I'm making the second one, so if you want it, it's there. I'm going to be writing another one."
He's like, boo.
And Stanley's like, "No, thanks."
Yeah.
The great thing is I don't remember who directed this one, but apparently he like called up Stanley Kubrick at some point to like get his blessing on making the sequel. And Kubrick literally said, "I don't care.
Why
I don't give a shit.
fuck?
Go do whatever."
Yeah.
And then later, like, because he felt like that was a little harsh, maybe he didn't have his blessing. He called him back. Kubrick's like, "No, seriously, just don't worry about it. Just make whatever movie you want to make."
Make whatever piece of trash you're trying to do to my franchise. No, I think that's a testament towards I think how we should actually feel about the sequel. Whereas like I don't think Kubrick was worried about this tarnishing the first one.
No.
As well as I don't think we should.
No one should worry about that with sequels. That's what I hate.
But I mean, yeah, exactly. Like you worried me with your interpretation of now Hal. Like Hal explained.
Yeah.
I hope that does not affect future viewings of 2001.
No,
for you.
I
You know what
still
I mean?
love that Hal, and I still love what Hal does in that movie.
Yeah.
It's just that a lot of my gripes come from comparison because it's like it's just such a different.
It is. It is a completely different tone.
Okay,
Completely
so
different.
the director of 2010 is Peter Hyams. I think is that how you say it? I don't know. He's also directed Time Cop, Sudden Death,
Damn.
The Relic,
Oh, that's a good one. Stan Winston
End
did the
of
effects on
Days.
I mean, I felt like I
a
never thought
solid
for a second
resume.
the guy was a bad director. I just think
No,
like
yeah.
they worked with whatever material they had.
that. Yeah.
The Musketeer.
Also, he shoots his own shit, which I thought was interesting. One of the I thought all the interior spaceship shit directly out of Alien. Like,
Yeah,
if you,
I was
that
getting
shit
some-
is like
yeah.
so like all the dining room scenes is any scene they're together. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it has that look, that dark, like foggy look, unlike stuff you'd see at the time in like Star Trek or you know a lot of other sci-fi franchises.
Yeah,
Star
the
Wars,
starship is the spaceship is very badly lit, in compared to like other
and
spaceships at the time.
Alien, I believe that was intentional, right? Because they just didn't have the budget. Like they didn't have, they couldn't make everything like that, which maybe was true for this one too.
I
I
can only afford red light bulbs.
I think I enjoyed this movie a lot more than you guys did. I wouldn't say I love it. I certainly wouldn't prefer it over the original.
Yeah.
But like I had a good time watching it. It really like did a lot of things I liked. Whereas like I got to meet these crew members. I loved the Russian American dynamic. Even though again, but what I loved about it is how 80s this movie was. Like it was all that's important to how much I liked it because it just felt like I was watching an old 80s movie on television back in the day. You know what I mean? And that first scene is probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie. So like I'm
when the
shocked that you guys
Russian-
hate it. I thought that was hilarious. And I thought it was just like so well done, and that's exactly how like you could start a movie right off the bat with just information. And well, to be honest, that's not how the movie starts. The movie starts weird, and starts to has all the mission logs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I totally
yeah.
forgot
and
about
that
that.
was a problem for me.
Yeah.
I don't think we needed.
Hey, reminder what happened in the last movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
'Cause,
exactly what it
they,
felt
they
like.
give all the info in the very next
Yeah.
scene with the Russian guy.
Exactly.
That-
So
I
I
think
felt
that's
that was
why I
completely
forgot.
unnecessary. But I mean, I loved like every little bit of. I love having the guy who created Hal. I loved John Lithgow was in this movie, which was like we don't get to see a lot of serious John Lithgow work anymore. So I thought he was a great. And then Helen Mirren, Dame Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
One of my favorite
a young Helen
actresses.
Mirren. I didn't even recognize her at first.
Yeah, is a banging Russian in this movie
With a bad accent.
with perm and a bad accent. Yes. I love how they also had the guy who dies on the monolith.
Max.
It's like the dude who's in every movie as a Russian. Like he's in every American movie as a Russian. He
the
probably has a
Russian guy.
great Russian career. He might. I don't know. But he is definitely like the other Russian guy in like every American movie. He's not the bad guy, but he like works for the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's the henchman in like
The
everything.
Russian henchman.
But he was a good guy in this.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
And he did all right too. Easy as cake.
But I like that scene with like Hal and Floyd
That's
going back and forth. But also the scene with Hal and his creator, Bob Balaban. Like
that was a good one too.
I
yeah.
loved
Yeah.
that. Oh,
Yeah,
and
when
it was
he has to-
actually like I think that was like the pivotal point of the movie. I didn't really care for what happened after it, but like I was in for that.
Yeah, that was the tensest moment is because it's like they have to launch now or they're gonna miss
Yeah,
it, and
and
Hal's got his finger
And
on
I was
the
back to
button.
being like, well, see, so you say like the thing is like they made Hal like this other thing, but maybe that was just his fucking explanation because it really seemed like Hal was gonna turn again.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Well, no, they explain why. Because they say if Hal thinks his life is threatened, one of his main priorities is to keep himself alive to continue the mission.
Sure.
And so he would be like, actually, no, I'm not going to just leave myself
well, hold on.
here.
When watching 2001, though, I mean, did you just think this was like a robot they created and they didn't realize he could like turn on people? Like, I'm saying, like, what if being a sentient being, like, he can just think for himself and do all, like, what if the explanations of this guy like doesn't really matter? He wasn't there. He doesn't really understand it. Do you know what I mean?
That didn't happen in the movie though. So
I was going to say that in the movie they mention directly why there should be tension by saying he might not like that we're going to leave him behind because he has a built-in defense against that, and that's why they want to hold it back from him. Not because they think, oh, he could still be evil, he could still betray us. It's literally because of his built-in defense programming.
No. I agree with that scene. I'm just saying, like, with your, because you felt like Hal was tarnished in this movie for you. I'm saying, like, maybe like what they're saying is not accurate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he really did just like
because
take control.
That doctor guy seemed
like
to have
David.
a love relationship with the robots. He seemed to like dream about them or something.
Yeah. Also, explain that to me. That was something really interesting.
What?
So Sal 9000 asked like, "Do I
Sounded
dream?"
hot.
And he's like, "Yeah, like all
intelligent beings
whatever."
do.
But then why, when Hal asks, does he say, "I don't know"? Because is he questioning his own like?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think at that point he was just being honest. Like, I think
Like, you think he was lying to Sal?
he just doesn't know. Yeah.
Oh, if Sal knew,
Yeah.
she'd be so upset.
Sal 9000.
Also, we skipped right over the dolphins. Apparently, in 2010, you keep dolphins as pets.
His wife was a marine biologist.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, come on, man.
I thought they literally just had like a pool in the house, and it's like, there's our pet dolphin. I'm like,
No.
what?
Is anyone here a marine biologist?
God.
I'm sorry. How could you? I can never hear those two words and not.
I can.
Well, you don't hear marine biologist often. You're honestly telling me that line doesn't come in your head every time you hear marine
It didn't
biologist.
It
just
didn't just
now
then, no.
until you yelled
Okay,
it.
fair enough. Is anyone here a marine
God.
Hey,
And then also we get to see what happened to David's wife and mom.
yeah. The mom part was tight. Actually, they were
The
both
floating
tight. You know what?
brush.
I'm fine with both. They're both cool.
He shows up on the TV to
both
talk to his wife and brushes his dying mom's hair. And then you get a cameo
What?
with Kubrick and Arthur C. Clarke on the cover of the magazine. Did you guys notice that?
I did not notice that.
In that scene where the ghost is brushing the mom's hair.
Oh, what the nurse is reading?
Yeah, the nurse is reading a paper about war, and she slams the paper down. The two people on the cover are Arthur C. Clarke, the author of the books, and Stanley Kubrick.
Now, was this like an obvious show, or was it like you have to catch it?
I felt it was pretty obvious because it was the entire shot
Fucking
was
80s,
the
man.
magazine popping into frame.
The goddamn 80s.
The 80s all over again.
Here's a reference.
References. Explaining things.
I could imagine the trailer for this literally being my synopsis.
Yeah. Oh man, 2010. And how did you guys feel about the ending? Like the very ending? Because I didn't like it very much. Everything was just like happy, kind of. Just like
It reminded me.
I don't feel good about this feel good ending. to be completely honest with
It
you.
reminded me of The Watchmen. In like,
I don't remember
they
that.
bring this giant being to Earth so that the tensions between all the nations would halt and just focus on this one thing and work together rather than fighting each other. So that's very much the vibe I got from this too, because it's like, hey, here's this other shit. You could just like make it your other home or something and avoid this war on your singular planet. Like, it just felt like it was like the solution, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Europa. That
little-
one's ours.
So that
No landing on Europa.
so that's where
Stay away from Europa.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like we're in need for another sequel.
No humans allowed.
Well,
Where
there is another
someone
book.
lands on a Europa. Do they land on Europa?
I don't know what
didn't
happens in the
read-
book.
I
feel like-
read now.
I feel like that was
so-
a setup.
I read now, so I'll probably read all the books. So,
You read now?
dude, I read the Halloween novelization.
All right. What else have you read?
That's it.
I remember I bought the Predator 2 novelization as a kid, but I never read it.
Damn. He'll buy it from you.
still
I would
got
need
it?
to find it.
You should just give it
He's
to
like
me for
mad
free.
now. He's like thinking about, damn, I wish I had
want
that
it.
book.
I want it.
I really want to find that fucking Halloween novelization.
Do it.
It's like
very-
$200.
Is that your new Brink?
It's like,
very
yeah.
You got
Yeah.
Brink now, so now
Yeah.
it's the Halloween.
Dude, it's like
novelization.
200. It costs like $200.
And Brink was same thing, right? Like it's
exactly.
just all
So
over again.
Brian, get on it.
Let me get
Find one. Have your girlfriend buy you one
Yeah.
copy.
There you go.
And then you find a cheaper one and give it to me.
Oh, other novelization news?
Oh Jesus! we got
Related to
news?
Alien 3. The guy that did the novelization for Alien 3 hated the ending so much he wanted to change it in the novelization.
Can't blame him.
and no one would let him, so he actually quit. He had done the novelization
yeah.
for the first two,
Fuck yeah.
and
He's
so
like,
he said,
"Nope."
no, I'm not going to do it then.
That's hilarious.
That is awesome. 'Cause I don't need it. I mean, he must have been like a successful writer. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like,
well, yeah. He's not going to be
'cause-
struggling.
yeah,
He's like,
exactly.
I'm standing by
Yeah,
what I
whatever,
said. That doesn't happen.
By the
never
way, I
works
need money.
again.
No, yeah, there's a third book, and I looked it up on IMDb, and there has there was supposed to be like a TV series made out of it. I don't know if it's happening or
Europa,
if it did.
dude, guaranteed.
No, it's called 3001.
No, is it really?
Yeah.
Something.
I thought that was like the name of a parody.
No.
No,
No. There was a Leslie
There's
Nielsen
some
parody.
That's right, and I thought it was called 3001. That's why.
I don't know.
No, fuck it. It doesn't matter. What does it
A
matter?
Space Idiot or something like that is what it was called. That's
Really
one of
some
his.
Space Idiot.
That's his like worst.
That's
That's
like
a
one of his
good band name,
worst
dude. Space Idiot. The Final Odyssey. That's what the 3001. The Final,
Final
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Okay.
Is that Arthur C. Clarke as well?
I
Yeah.
believe so.
Okay.
Yep. Yes, it is.
He also did a Rendezvous with Rama, which they've
Dude.
never made a movie of.
Dude, Morgan Freeman is like seriously. He's been backing that project for like 15 years now, and I really wanted to have. I read it at SIU when we were there. Checked it out from the library.
What are you, a fucking nerd?
I know,
What
dude.
reading?
I really loved that though. Like, and I feel like I haven't read obviously these novels.
I'm going
But,
to,
like,
so I'm gonna.
The way it's written is just like clearly it's just something you could just like mull over. Like Kubrick could just take it and make
Yeah.
this one chapter that just gives like information. He can make it into like a 5-minute scene of visuals. You know what I mean? Like you could clearly see how he probably did take Arthur C. Clarke's work and just like
Run with it.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
wrote it at the same time.
no, I understand, but like clearly he was getting his information from Arthur C. Clarke is just like I feel like he's a very hard sci-fi guy. It's just like he's basically just like Italy was destroyed, and that made us like worry that our entire history could just be like wiped out in a second. That's why we like go to we build this like fucking space defense system, and then we catch this fucking cylinder ship in the distance.
What is he talking
He's
about?
talking
Are we
about
going
Rendezvous with
to
Rama.
I don't know.
I'll stop
Yeah.
it. But yeah, so that's the most interesting thing is like Morgan Freeman is like a huge sci-fi nerd.
What a
Like he
dork,
narrates all that space shit on the Discovery Channel and whatnot. But yeah,
And-
he's been
and some of
trying
the
to do
Penguin
something, but it's
shows,
like
too.
it's like unmakeable. Like I read it. Like trust me, it'll play more like kind of a mixture of 2001 and 2010,
2010.
right? It's just
sounds
like,
Because you got the crew dynamic. And
yeah, you do
Rendezvous
have the
with
crew
Rama.
dynamic, yeah. Which I think that's one of the biggest differences too. Is like we were dealing with like 2 people in 2001.
Yeah, 1.5.
Whereas like, yeah, but that's true. But and we obviously have more of a, I don't know. We like one of my favorite scenes of 2010 actually is when that like Russian chick is just like and gets in the fucking
Yeah,
compartment
because she doesn't
with
want to
him.
get thrown against the
And
goddamn wall.
they know nothing about each other. They don't even speak the same fucking language, but they both have the same passion for one, and like just humanity.
Yeah, and then
dude.
then
It's-
nothing happens to her again.
Yeah, did we ever see her again?
I think he's like see her in the background once or twice,
okay.
and that's it.
And then just like him drinking with fucking Helen Mirren.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. He's just describing like, it's from Kentucky, but Kentucky sounds like a nice place. Never been. And I just like love that because I mean, in Russia, Russia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's all. It's just like the same. It's wasteland and like 3 cities.
And all those cities are close to Europe.
No
It's-
offense, Russia, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Do we get any listeners from Russia?
If we do, please stop hacking us.
Yeah, stop making our numbers seem way lower than they actually are, please.
We're clearly in the millions, dude. So many DLs.
But yeah, I really liked 2010. I really did. Like, if you didn't like your movie, I was prepared to just like buy it from you if you wanted.
I like it enough to keep it.
Okay.
I'm so conflicted about this movie because if watching it alone as a standalone thing, it's all right. It's pretty decent 80s sci-fi kind of stuff. But it's like, man, it is such a step down
Yeah.
that it's hard for me to really recommend it.
For sure.
It's just it's too long. I know that I say that about every movie, but I think this one is too. I think that 2001 is fine. And it's way
I
longer.
didn't feel the length of this.
It's-
like, usually I could
did.
agree. I just
I did.
don't.
I don't know.
You
why.
watched
I
it
just
in
did.
2 chunks, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
I watched it in one.
But that doesn't matter.
chunk.
I had a good stopping point. What does that
What
matter?
was your stopping point? When did you stop?
It was... Shit, what was it? No, it was like literally a good stopping point. I don't
Yeah,
remember what it
because
was.
I actually also watched it in 2 chunks.
Did you?
Yeah, I stopped the first time right before they were discussing sending Max out to it in the probably
Yeah,
the same
'cause no,
spot.
yeah, 'cause what happens right
Because
before
it's really
that-
boring, and then that's where that's where
Yeah.
things start happening.
Yeah, there's like there's a shift. You can
There-
feel it in the
no,
movie.
there
and
really
it's just
is,
like,
yeah.
I'm gonna stop there.
Yeah,
and then
totally.
pick it up.
I watched it in one sitting. Okay.
Well,
So
my
don't-
mom came over while I was watching it, and I had to stop.
And she had no interest in watching 2010.
She probably did. She's probably into
yeah,
sci-fi.
my mom's
right?
a big sci-fi dork too.
That's cool.
That's why he's such a fucking
My mom
nerd.
loves like shitty horror movies that are made by like filmmakers right out of college. Like that's her brand of tea.
You know?
Like that's all she watches.
It's her brand of tea.
Cup of tea.
My mom likes
whatever.
black
What do
and
you
white
want?
musicals.
That's racist.
That is racist.
Like you mean just like old musicals?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, like
So it's
musicals
like
starring
like
exclusively
Hairspray?
whites or exclusively blacks.
Oh, okay. It's
or
got to be one or the other.
blackface.
Yeah. I guess I could have said white musicals and black musicals.
Does she like blackface?
White musicals with blackface.
I mean, that's a big category.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
It's crazy how much that exists. And then just
We could have a whole
the singing
podcast
voices
about blackface musicals.
Let's get into it.
I mean,
Let's talk about-
We'll be snobs about that.
Let's
that
talk
genre.
about race. Hey, Kyle, what do you think about race? I don't see it personally, so
you don't see color.
no, I don't.
But it doesn't matter who wins.
I don't get it.
Just winning. Winning is winning.
Oh
Race.
yeah. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Jokes.
I see what we did.
I got
Sure.
jokes.
Yeah.
It wasn't good though, but
This wasn't set up.
Dave will
poorly.
edit it so it works better. Like, hey guys, ready to get a laugh? 1, 2, 3.
Fast and Furious. I love it.
I'm not gonna edit any of
Yeah,
that.
he was. I'm sorry.
2010.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, back on topic. Is there anything else we can talk about then?
I don't know, man. I can't.
Because I was trying to you mentioned that it just doesn't look as good.
I just don't. I think it looks.
The
it looks
standout
chintzy.
the
compared to
standout
2001.
bad moment to me was when they're like going over Europa and like the little probe is like scanning over Europa to try and find out where that signal's coming from, and it just looks like the shittiest model as
Yeah,
it's
it
like
looks so
zooming
bad.
over the
It
surface
looks
that's
so
all of
fucking
an
bad.
icy planet with all these like jagged crystals on it, but it looks like something that like it looks shitty.
Yeah, it
Just
looks
outright
terrible.
shitty.
It looks really.
I can't think of
terrible.
that in particular.
I
But-
seriously,
stood out to
believe-
me
I
as a-
believe.
I
Yeah.
seriously don't like how any of the space stuff looked.
Yeah.
Like, I was
No,
fine
agree.
with the inside the spaceship.
Yeah,
but
I actually loved the aesthetic of Inside the Ship, but you're right. I mean, I don't think it was all bad
it just
outside,
wasn't.
but like I know what you're saying. It
wasn't
wasn't 2001.
interesting.
It
It
wasn't
wasn't-
fucking.
yeah.
It wasn't anything that's done space well.
Yeah.
Really. Like, but things older than that did space better. You know what
Exactly,
I mean?
that's what I'm
Obviously.
saying.
That's the hard part.
That's what's a shame. You're right.
I did like the hole in Jupiter bit where it's like you saw like Jupiter caving in.
Yeah, but what
almost.
about like zooming, enhance the image, and then we get like fucking 1,000,003 monoliths
all? Yeah, that's
in
the
like
black
the
spot.
shittiest fucking
yeah, it's terrible.
CG. Could you call it CG? Was that yeah? It was CG back then, right?
Yes,
Yeah, like Apple II's doing CG stuff.
I guess, man. Well, how do you feel about the look, the aesthetic of this film?
I don't know.
Jesus, man.
Right.
I told you I don't have a lot to say about this movie.
You spent more time watching the movie than you
I really
contributed
did.
to.
I just I don't know.
I think that's
Just
true
don't-
for
I
all
kind
of
of feel
us.
bad.
I mean,
though.
that's
Well,
very
okay,
true for
okay,
all of us.
That's true. We spent an hour on this. We watched it for 2 hours. But I just feel bad that you're like here, and I don't know. I hope you feel like
It's
you're at
fine. I
least-
mean, like I said, it was fine. It was an okay movie.
It was a
so,
fine,
like,
okay movie.
I mean, it was. I
Dave,
liked
you
it,
did ask
so.
about the ending, and I never said my opinion on it.
What's your damn opinion?
I
on
didn't
the
like
ending?
it. It's like I
Yeah,
like
it's
the
not
idea
good.
of turning
I didn't
Jupiter
see-
into a sun and making its moons planets. I thought that was a cool idea, but it's like because most star systems out there are binary. There's two stars that are kind of orbiting around each other, and then all the planets are kind of sharing the space. So it's like I liked that idea that our system would turn into one, and if it's going to be anything, it'll be Jupiter doing it. So I liked all that kind of stuff, like from a space and sciencey standpoint. But it's like it happened, and then they're talking about two stars in the sky, and they're talking about all this
I kind
blah
of like
blah
that
blah.
bit. I kind of like that bit. Like our kids are only gonna know two
Yeah.
two
I hate
sons
that.
now.
Yeah,
But like you
shit.
could say that about
No
anything.
darkness
Like
or
our
whatever.
kids are only going to know phones work when you can see the person on the other end. Like they're
Fair
going to
enough.
think if you can't see a face.
I actually think they didn't handle that sequence like well enough. Like
That's-
their
yeah.
reactions, or not even the reactions, but like how they experienced it was not like as cool or as awe-inspiring as it could have been. But obviously,
I felt like it could have returned to Kingdom a little bit, and it could have shown a little bit of what's going on because of this fucking crazy change in the way that our universe works.
sure you wanted like a moment from Independence Day after the ship blows up, and then everybody like, all around the world, there's like different
Tell
locales.
them, son,
They're
we
just
know how to
like-
bring them sons of bitches down.
Oh my! Why are we? I know you guys saw Independence Day too, but I certainly did not. That
I
might
did-
that
I
might
also
be a
did not.
suggestion down the road.
I mean,
It was alright.
there's not.
It's like, please don't.
I mean, I had a fine time at that movie. I just like don't really ever want to watch it again.
I understand.
I don't want to watch most of it ever again. There's a
just
few
don't-
bits that I wouldn't mind seeing. We get on Blu-ray, we'll just skip some parts and we'll be all right.
That's not how. No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Okay.
we can't just.
Yeah,
scan
apparently
through.
Kyle decides how we watch movies now.
Fuck you guys.
This motherfucker that breaks it into two
Yeah, he
chunks.
breaks it into 2 goddamn chunks.
And your mom didn't even interrupt you.
Yeah, fuck you.
You just got bored.
Well, what happened is like I just like kind of
you fell asleep.
forgot about it, and then I had to do it, and then I had other things to do, and then I got it done. Is that not the point?
That's fine. That's fine. But we were talking about how fucking boring it was, and you're like, I didn't feel that.
I didn't, but I mean, I was never bored during it. Like,
I was on my phone the whole time, half
2 hours
awake.
sitting would have. I don't think that would.
I mean, I
divided
was
it up.
definitely on my phone the entire time, but that's.
But you were taking notes.
I do that. No.
Oh.
I just do that for
You were
every.
just-
I mean,
movie.
like, we're not talking about like the length of the movie, right? You're talking about how it felt.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because 2 hours is not a long time for a movie, but it's how it felt. And I never felt that it was like boring or just
2 hours
dragging
is
along.
pretty long
but-
for a movie.
I wouldn't say boring. I would just say I felt like nothing was really happening
There,
too
like
much.
I said, like
Like,
they-
you could say that about 2001.
What?
yeah, but there's things to think
Yeah,
about.
I agree.
That's my main complaint. I already said it
You
in this
didn't.
podcast.
You didn't think at all during this.
No, not really.
It tells
Like,
you everything.
Yeah, it tells you too much, and then you're just like, Bleh.
Yeah.
Like, is there
So that happens
anything
when
left
you watch experts
unexplained
on board.
except for like the origin of the monoliths? Like, is that the only thing unexplained? Is the origin of them?
Came
Because
from
we know what
aliens.
we know what they're doing.
Sure.
We know what happened to David. We know what happened to Hal, even though I don't think that needed an explanation. It's like we know everything now.
Yeah.
But you don't know what happens to them when they get home.
It's true.
They're
Yeah.
warring. They're warring countries, and they left the other ship.
Oh, but they made peace at the end.
Yeah, they
though.
made peace. Dude.
Damn it! See,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
It even
Oh,
shows
yeah,
that
that's
double
what I'm-
star
That's
over
what
every
like,
single
I don't
nation.
like. Yeah, I don't like the ending because it's all like, yay.
Oh yeah, I remember
It's
now.
stupid.
Yeah.
It's really stupid.
I just like that message where he's like, I just thought it was gonna be like a really cheesy hoax. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
But other than it's like in the middle, don't come to Europa.
Yeah. It's like,
There's like a little bit of a threat in this like
Yeah.
peaceful message. Don't step foot on a Europa.
no landing.
Bitch.
It would have been
Yeah,
funny if
it's
it
like-
ended or else.
I just like when sci-fi movies end where it's like, wow, everyone's gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world is going to die after this,
Yeah.
and that didn't happen in this.
Yeah.
So
Or there's at least a threat of it. Like that was like
Yeah.
never a threat in this movie. Like right, like what were the stakes in this
Nothing.
movie?
maybe they died. That's the only.
That's a
those are
really
the
good
only
point. The
stakes.
stakes in this movie seem to be coming from Earth.
Yeah.
It's like that's where the rising tension comes from. Most of the movie is Earth. I mean, like Max gets blown
But it-
away, and there's a little bit of thing going on there. And then there's like in the last 10 minutes, you got the Jupiter collapsing bit.
Yeah. And then their mission, like it just so happens peace comes out of it, but their mission is to not unite their countries.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even though it's kind of what they're doing by being on ships, whatever. You know what I mean?
They mention it twice. We're scientists,
Yeah.
not politicians.
So that's the problem with like explaining everything. Do you think like that's because they just had a bunch of scientists, experts on board? So it's like,
Maybe.
do you know what I mean? Was that the problem rather than like say 2 scientists and like a crew of, civilians or just like minor laborers, right?
Yeah.
Everyone was a fucking expert on everything.
Yeah, but they were like going to fucking see a monolith floating in space. I think it would be all right for them to not be explaining everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's true.
Well, they didn't explain where it went.
No, that's true.
You know what?
It just
Some
kind of upped
questions were
and
unanswered.
fucked off.
It did. He's
Like
like,
a
whoa,
fart in the wind.
where did it go?
The aliens took it back.
All right, we turned Jupiter into a
Dude,
sun. We're done.
It came from aliens, bro.
Did it?
Yeah.
I see you read 3001.
I've read a few things, man. Yeah, I have nothing else to say about this movie.
I really enjoy it. I'd recommend it.
Do we want to go? We want to go through and do the damn thing. Do the thumb. Show your thumbs.
Yeah.
Thumb time.
Mike, you
Thumb
go
alum
first.
lum. Yeah.
I'd like to see the poster for this movie real quick. Actually.
It's a pretty good poster, actually.
It's got
Yeah.
a baby on it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah. It doesn't really make sense, but
Because the baby from the first one.
No, yeah.
Remember
But
the
why?
baby?
it's a super baby. Dude.
Super baby.
It's a good poster, but it makes no sense for the movie.
No.
Having okay, say you didn't see the movie and you looked at that poster, you'd be like, "This looks tight."
It should have a poster of like a Russian and an American like,
Yeah.
facing off, and then Jupiter in the middle.
classic, they're like
and, and then there's the obelisk and Jupiter right in between
was
at the bottom and the
that was
top
the
of the
first
frame.
draft. And then they're like, "No, we need to make it like the original."
We don't want to really piss Russia
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
It would be like Roy Scheider and Helen Mirren like facing off.
That'd I'd be into it.
Okay, Mike, thumb up or thumb down, and then explain your goddamn self.
I'm gonna have
Explain
to.
your caveats or whatever.
It's so close, but I'm gonna have to go thumb down. I can't
Damn.
recommend it. I just
But
can't.
you want to keep it?
Yeah, I'm fine with keeping it.
Okay, Mike.
I have a lot of movies I'd thumb down, and I
Sure.
own them.
Sure.
It's just not good enough. It's like it bugs me too much after seeing the first one. There's too many. It's just too much of a step down for me that I can't dig it. And it's like, someone watches it, they think it's good. Hey, that's all right with me. I wouldn't say they're wrong on that.
Good. That's good that you allow people opinions.
Dave, you shouldn't be calling anyone out on hate
That
opinions.
is the truth.
I
No, gotta back Mike
don't
up on
allow
this.
opinions.
Ones that aren't yours.
Yeah, my opinion's right. Yeah, I'm gonna say thumbs down. I didn't really like the movie. It was okay. It wasn't terrible.
Long.
Looked like shit. It was too long. Boring.
You're just. It sounds terrible to you.
It's not really good. It's not a really good movie. Especially since I like 2001 now. Nah,
Yeah. They do not compare.
It does not compare.
No.
Brian.
Yeah, I guess down. It's just a very okay. It's very okay. That's
it
all
is.
I've
It's
said
really-
pretty
I mean,
much for an hour.
it's
Is
all
it's
you've
just-
had to say,
It's
Brian.
very okay.
But it's so true.
Thanks again for joining us, bro.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Your statement is the truest thing that's been said on this podcast tonight. It's very okay.
Yeah. I like it more than that, though. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
Ah,
Sorry,
come
guys.
No, it's all
Sorry.
right.
Have we had all thumbs down yet?
Yeah, we've had
Yeah.
all thumb downs a couple times.
Oh, okay. Well,
on. Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
this is not going to be added to the list because I am not being a contrarian.
But
I
that was
just
also only with 3 of you.
really did enjoy
So-
this. That's true. That's true.
Whoa, yeah.
That's true. What do you give Mortal Kombat Annihilation a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Probably down. I don't
It's
remember
very
it.
bad. It's a very bad movie.
You'd love it.
But I remember that was the episode where I was like, I need to be on this thing because
That
you
was the
guys
one.
kept talking about like your Mortal Kombat experiences,
yeah.
and I was like, I remember everything about that fucking game because I'm old as hell.
He's 47 years
You
old.
guys are wrong. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I do that when I'm listening to people who are just like clearly wrong about something. I just yell at my car stereo.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think that's what we should do is every time we watch the episode, we should talk about how we're experts about it and then just show how little we fucking know. Just so people be like, what?
I mean, that's like basically what we do. That's what I did on the Halloween podcast, at least. I was like, this is my favorite fucking franchise. Then I was like, what happened at the end of the first one? I just sound like a fucking moron.
Oh, yeah.
was so good.
Devin tells me she listened to it yesterday. She goes, so I might be the only one who hasn't seen the movie, but like I knew the ending immediately. I was just like, pop culture stuff, I guess.
Wait, for what?
For Halloween, she like knew how the original ended.
Oh,
Because I guess it's pop culture. But why couldn't we think of it? What was the fucking? Why couldn't we think of it?
I don't know.
Because I couldn't remember
There's
whether
two.
he got up or
'Cause
walked
there's
away.
two. That's why. It's confusing. Rob Zombie should have never made a Halloween movie.
I agree.
He should have just made
He should
Halloween
have
2.
just made H2.
Actually, if he could have got away with it, like never saying Michael Myers and just called it H2, like,
It would have been the best movie
Whoa,
of all time.
that would have been dope.
It would have blown my fucking brain to pieces.
When's his next? What's he doing?
Who cares?
Yeah.
He still makes
think
pretty
he's-
good music, by the way.
pretty sure he's like touring right now.
Is he? So that means he's writing, right?
I don't know.
I don't know
What
what he
that
does
mean?
on tour. I'm not
I don't
sure.
give a
He's
shit.
not
He
my
writes his
dad.
movies.
I don't give a shit.
How
man.
sick would it
Wouldn't
be to have
yeah, I
Rob
was gonna
Zombie as
say,
his dad?
wouldn't that be cool though?
It's probably annoying,
He
dude.
he'd probably just, yeah.
He's
Dude, he's got a lot
Hey,
of
Dad,
cool
can I have
toys.
some money? Yeah.
Clean your room first. I'd like.
What was
Why
that?
did you ruin it? You ruined like a perfectly good joke. Do you not get the joke? He does that in
He
music.
does
He
not.
goes, yeah. That's what he does in music.
Oh, I didn't get it.
God. dude.
Also, in the lyrics sheets, it says yeah.
says yeah.
a lot.
That's awesome.
Because I was looking at like Thunder Kiss 65, straight up just says yeah a
Yeah.
lot, and it's in the lyric sheet. Like you took the time to write
He
out.
wrote
yes.
those lyrics.
and he says it a lot.
It's just like filler. I can't think of a word to like make this
No, dude.
sentence
That's,
work.
he consciously wrote those lyrics in the song.
What's the best word here?
Yeah.
Okay, let me write
Yeah.
that down. Now what?
Dude, I love that
Yeah.
that newest single that's on fucking JJO all the
I
time.
don't know, but I don't remember.
Like,
I don't
does
remember what
his
it is.
sound changed?
Not really.
No. Okay.
It's like heavier, I feel like, but other
Really?
than that, it's like less. It used to be like more electronic, kind of like his solo
Yeah, his
stuff.
solo stuff, he got a little.
But,
he
now it's
branched out
not.
a lot.
Now it's not.
Okay.
It's like more like.
Is he back to like White Zombie or is he just like?
I mean, it kind of sounds like.
That would
kinda,
be so good.
It kind of sounds like White Zombie, but
I just want another Astro Creep 2000.
White Zombie was
It's
amazing.
so fucking good. So good.
Yeah.
They were in Airheads, right?
Were
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were.
The
I think
band
they were, yeah.
where Chris Farley's trying to locate the chick. That's a good movie. Where's that
Is there,
scene?
yeah, is there an Airheads too?
They get out of jail
Yeah.
and have to go right back. Jesus Christ.
9
man.
o'clock.
God, dude.
Well, I guess it's quitting time. So
yeah,
thumbs up for me.
3 thumbs down, 1 thumb up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, next week, are you going to be
up?
back for more?
Yeah.
God
Wait,
damn
why?
it, dude. I was
Am I
hoping
not?
you were going to go, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. I'm sorry. I was like, what do you know that I got? Like, what do I got next week? Hey, I just want to say something real quick because we are fucking idiots and suck at this.
Well, I agree.
Hey, you should like us on Facebook, follow us on iTunes,
Please don't.
subscribe.
Like, comment,
Please don't.
subscribe.
Like, pretty much, rate us. You don't have
I
to worry
just-
about fucking words.
you know,
Just give us like stars.
The thing that I don't like about saying stuff like that is like if they want to, they would.
Yeah.
I'm not. You saying it with your stupid
No.
voice is not going to make them do it.
To prove that is correct, you can email if this was helpful to us at
Please.
back for more
Podcast at gmail.com.
gmail.com.
I think.
And just say like, you know what? It took me to hear Kyle saying to do it.
No one's doing that,
Yeah,
dude.
no one's going to do that. We're not going to get any emails.
Then just at least like give us a suggestion, a movie you'd like us to
no.
watch.
Why
Don't
would they
suggest
do
can't do
anything.
that either?
We have
No.
plenty of fucking ideas.
Hey, fuck you guys, I guess. Then.
Exactly.
No, I'm totally on Dave's boat. Just listen if you want to, and then stop if you don't.
Just trying,
And that's it.
just trying to like you know.
But just leave it running in the background for them plays.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah, just leave it running.
Just
I don't care if you listen or not. Just play it.
yeah,
That's
just
it.
create
That's all.
15 different accounts on iTunes and
That's all I
subscribe
want
with
you to
all
do.
of them. Yeah.
So you know what? Just do you.
You do you,
We'll-
and
yeah.
we'll do us.
Yeah, we will. yeah.
Yeah. We'll be back for more.
Back.
That.
I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, what you know, another goddamn sequel show.